no problem. Thanks for
S-
having me.
Well, I have to start by saying congratulations. You've been in town for almost 2 months now. How you liking the capital city?
I love it. Everything about it's been very welcoming. A lot to do. Everything's close in proximity. So it's been amazing to me and my family. We love it here.
And I have to ask you, have you found that favorite spot to take off your cowboy hat and sit down and have a good bite to eat?
Yeah, a few. There's been a lot of great restaurants. And we're still trying them all. We can't put a flag at any place yet. We don't want anybody to be mad at us, but we're trying them all.
I have to ask you about your journey here, to talk about your journey here. I know you were raised by mom and grandma played a big role as well, but football was always your first love.
Yeah, absolutely. I started football in my grandfather's backyard when I was about 5. And I'll never forget they were beating me up back there in the backyard, and I ran into the house to my grandfather like, I don't, why they keep hitting so hard? It's like, and I was crying, and he was like, well, you can quit or you can go back out there. And I ran back out there, and ever since I've been kind of on the football journey and football train. And so, started football at a very young age, and obviously I always say thank God for the ball that saved my life, and it's brought me all the way to this point.
Oh, that's a powerful statement. Saved your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, growing up, single mom, you know, moving around a lot, football's always kind of been my safe haven, my comfort zone, my place to go to, my rest, free from the world and the things that are going on. So it's been awesome.
You were born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Uh, Talk about that cowboy hat.
Yeah, so people don't know, but I owned a ranch. I just sold it a year ago. Outside of Pittsburgh, I owned a ranch in Pennsylvania, like close to West Virginia, Ohio line. But when I went to the University of Texas, I'm a big person on it's not about where you're from, it's about where you're at. And I want to, make sure I embrace myself in the Texas culture. And I used to wear a straw hat around, and obviously in the summertime, right? They say every good cowboy has a good felt hat. And so, I was sitting with, a couple people, Matthew McConaughey, some different people at Texas, and they had like real nice felt cowboy hats, like beaver hats and expensive hats. And I was like, man, I got to get me one of those. I got to get the real thing, not the little $50 straw hat. I got to get me a real hat. And so, yeah, Texas was the place that really brought me to, wearing the cowboy hat.
And talk about how all of these experience you feel prepared you for this moment.
Yeah, I think you just take something from every place that you're at. And, all these places that have led me to this point, the mentors, the players, the places, the experiences, the moments, the highs, the lows, really just prepare you, when you get a chance like this and an opportunity. And so I'm grateful for every stop that I stopped along.
You're the first African American head football coach at Sac State. Did you ever dream you'd be sitting in this seat making history?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime I study football, like the history of football. And I've always went back and looked at like, okay, who's done it before me, and how did they do it, and why did they do it, and what hurdles that they had to overcome. And there's been a lot of great black coaches before me that have sat in these seats and chairs and been the first. And it's a blessing for me to be the first here at Sacramento State, and I don't take that lightly.
I noticed you got the go-go Sacramento. A lot of people know that is kind of as your thing, your famous go-go offense, and you're bringing that here.
That's right. I mean, the biggest thing for us is just to put a winning product on the field that the fans can be excited about, have a lot of pride when they're rolling around town and saying like, did you see what our offense did? Did you see what our defense did? Our special teams, and being explosive and putting a lot of points on the board. And so it'll be an exciting brand of football for fans to get accustomed to watching.
Help people understand what that brand is when they hear that go-go.
Yeah, really, it's just about running the ball physically downhill and being tough, playing up tempo, and taking vertical shots down the field with a whole bunch of cool gadget plays and formations that other teams in football don't run. So we do a lot of things that are different from everybody else. And that's kind of what put us on the national landscape of football when we ran those plays. And so now we have that here at Sacramento.
Well, I have to say, you've got that famous go-go offense. You were one of 5 finalists for Offensive Coordinator of the Year last year at UNLV. Of all your options, what attracted you to Sac State?
I think it was my time to be at a place where it was on me to lead the group. And so the blessing in being here was, when I looked at President Wood and what he stand for, and Mark Orr, what they stood for, is that they were themselves, and they were leaders, and they were trendsetters, and bridge builders. And so I looked at those guys and saw that you could be yourself here. I could wear my cowboy hat. I could have tattoos. I could be a little bit different and unique, and they wouldn't be, scared of that or shied off by that. And so to me, it was a no-brainer to be somewhere that we could really build a program, take it to new heights, and I could be myself.
You look forward to the opportunity and to the challenge of building, if you will.
Absolutely. I think anywhere that if you look at my track record, I've always been able to go to the places that most people wouldn't go. And we've been able to be successful and win and have success. And so to me, anytime you get an opportunity to build, that's the type of environment that I want to be in.
You said in your first news conference here in Sacramento, watch us win or win with us. Do you feel any pressure to deliver those wins? Talk about the weight of this historic moment and the big expectations that come with it.
Yeah, preparation is our separation. And so for us, it's all going to be about how we prepare and our process that we have and the procedure in which we do things. And, every day that we go out there and work out in the morning, we have the end goal in mind and what that looks like. For us, we set very high expectations. But then really it's all about just the daily work and the process in which we go about our business each day to create value for ourselves. So we do put a winning product out there on the field. And so I think that's how you alleviate some of the pressure and eliminate that, is by the work that you put in.
Putting in the work. I remember you saying too, you just kind of like the vibes of this place, seeing Dr. Wood and how he carried himself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you got a president out there with I've seen him play the piano with the kids and singing songs. I've seen him dancing out there at graduation, and just, that energy is important. That synergy and energy, the vibe. I mean, all that's important, because you want to be able to, like you said earlier, being able to have your hat off at work and relax and be yourself. When pressure comes and those tough moments, you're gonna go back and be yourself. Who are you? Who are you really? And here you can truly be yourself. And so I thought that was very important for me and my family.
I was looking at more than a dozen 3- and 4-star athletes have left bigger programs to come to Sac State under your leadership. What message are you hoping to send with that type of recruitment?
One great year can change our life. That's all we focus on. It's about putting all your eggs into one basket, doing everything possible each day, putting the work in so you can have success for yourself and your family in the future. And our kids that have came here, our coaches that have come here, they believe in that. That's a process that has led me to this point with a lot of players and people all over the country. And so really that's the focus. One great year can change our life.
Well, I think there is a lot of definitely great expectations, wouldn't you say? We've reported on the Sac-12 movement that's raised millions of dollars to try and get Sac State in the Pac-12 conference. We're expecting, if not today, sometime in the near future, that the Student Athletic Advisory Committee will vote to support a transition to FBS for Sac State, the highest level of college football in the nation. Put in perspective what that would mean, and give us your reaction to where you think this place is going.
Yeah, I think it catapults us from just being a regional program to a national program. And ultimately, anytime you talk about a university being successful, right, it has to have a great sports program, a great academic program, and then a great community supporting that. And so that'll give us really the holistic approach to giving our student athletes the best possible experience that they can have, not only just from the players' perspective, but the students to see big games, playing big teams in big cities, and then the TV rights of playing on ESPN and big games. And so I think all the alumni and fans and administration can get behind that. I think our student athletes want that challenge. They want to feel what that experience is like. All these kids have gotten to, when you tell somebody to work out for 330 days out of the year to play 14 games, it better be 14 big games, the games that they're excited about. And so Our student athletes are really excited about the challenge, and they're working every day for those opportunities.
And workout at what, 5 a.m.?
Yeah, we get rolling on the field at 5:55, 6 a.m. The guys get out there and they start running, jumping, lifting, discipline, accountability, getting after it, encouraging each other. I mean, there's been a lot. Our guys have really put the work in this last month and getting ready for spring ball.
So the fact that FBS is even in the conversation, right? The fact that FBS is even being discussed, put in perspective, name names. What type of teams are we talking about playing here?
I mean, we're not going to call anybody out, but we're not going to back down from anybody. And so we are welcome to all suitors. Anybody who wants to come play us or wants us to come play them, we'll gladly take on the challenge. I think anywhere that I've been, that's been our mentality. Just spot the ball. We'll play you in a parking lot. We'll play you if you're a professional team. We'll play you. We want to play anybody, anywhere. And whether there's fans in the stadium or it's a packed house, TV, not TV. Our mentality is just to any challenge, any circumstance.
We've seen the plans to build a new football stadium here at Sac State. Talk about the impact you think this program can have on this region.
Oh, it's limitless. I think about Sacramento the same way I did it when I was in Austin, Texas. It was the biggest show in town, being the capital city of Texas. We're the capital city of California. There's no limits on what our community has of being a very affluent economic region. We're able to take this place as high as we want to take it, and we can go as far as we want to go, especially in a state like California.